Hey Canada, it's David here with the WOW Show. And one of these things about COVID, there's not a lot of great things about COVID, but one good thing about COVID, every situation has its silver lining, is that Canada, the United States, across the world, they figured out that truck drivers are essential. And it's been kind of cool just to see how the respect and the thank yous that you're getting that we've been doing since 2008 through the calendar is now becoming more commonplace, and that's been awesome. On the line today and on video on Zoom, I've got Mr. Jeff Lambier. He's with Ivan Armstrong Trucking in Arthur, Ontario. Jeff, welcome to the program.
Awesome. Thank you, David. I really appreciate you asking me to come on.
Yeah, and it's not by mistake that we have Jeff on talking about essential. Because Jeff, you've been part of a program, and recently Ivan Armstrong Trucking dedicated one of their trucks to the Essentials trailer, and you've been doing some cool things. I mean, you've got your finger up. So what did I mistake?
Right. So actually, the trailer doesn't belong to us.
Okay.
It was an initiative from last summer. It began.
Yeah.
NAL Insurance, Glenn Caldwell.
Yeah.
He had a very lot to do with the system. With the Essentials trailer.
Yeah.
With that, there was Tip Canada Trailer Rental, and there was numerous sponsors from the transportation industry that helped this trailer come to life. So I don't want to take any credit for creating the trailer, even though I wish I could. It's a fantastic design, but yeah, we had the opportunity to have the trailer. And I can explain that to you as well.
Yeah, that'd be great. So talk about the trailer. How big is it? What size trailer is it? What is it? We'll post some pictures on the WOW Trucks website for our listeners that aren't obviously going to see it on the radio. You can go to wowtrucks.com, and I'm going to post pictures of this trailer, and maybe Jeff will be kind enough to send me some pics of his people with this trailer. That would be awesome, and we'll just post those. But talk about this trailer.
Well, so we had an opportunity. We're a member of the Fleet Safety Council, the Central Chapter. They put out an announcement that any companies that were interested in going into a draw to have an opportunity to have time with this trailer in order to thank their essential truck drivers and all their essential staff, we ended up entering the draw. So we put our name in to the Central Chapter of the Fleet Safety Council, and we had our giant wheel, and it spun, and Ivan Armstrong Trucking came up. We were very excited. So from there, we went into a draw for all of the chapters across Ontario. And there was going to be 2 winners selected out of that, one to be able to use the trailer in the month of May, and one to use the trailer in September. And again, I should have bought maybe a couple lottery tickets to
I was going to ask you that.
Lottery. Yeah. So we won the draw, and we got the position to use the trailer for the month of May. We had very little time of planning, but there were some great folks that I was able to reach out to, and when they seen the trailer and they kind of heard the idea of what we wanted to do, they just kind of took it and ran with it. It was fantastic.
So talk about the use of this trailer. So obviously it's deckled out, and it sends the message as it travels around your region on just thanking our frontline workers and truckers and so on. But what did you do with it?
Well, we had it obviously to thank our essential truck drivers and all of our support staff at Ivan Armstrong Trucking, and the management, the ownership of the company. We've been part of the Wellington business community for over 52 years, and they're very strongly committed to the community and support. So I had made the suggestion that it would be great if we could take this trailer and show it around the local community. Not knowing how to do it, I had a friend with a local police detachment. I called her up. I told her kind of what I was thinking. Who do I need to get a hold of? She put me in touch with a constable out of the Fergus detachment. His name is Kirk McDonald. He looks after the media relations.
Yes.
I sent him a picture, a really rough draft of a media blurb. He immediately responded and said, "You know what? That's a fantastic idea. It's a really cool trailer." So first off, we thought, maybe get a picture of, park it somewhere, have an officer show up with a car and take a few pictures. Um, so with our conversation, that ended up stretching into, hey, I have a contact with the Wellington Healthcare Alliance with the hospital. The Fergus detachment is very close by. They have a long-term care that's very close by. They thought, hey, if we park it in the corner, all these workers coming and going will be able to view it. We got in contact with Allison Armstrong, no relation, fantastic lady from the Wellington Healthcare Alliance.
Yeah.
And she just thought it would be great. So we thought, hey, why don't we park it on the lot? Maybe there's a chance to get a few representatives from the hospital to come out. So our first day at Groves Memorial Hospital in Fergus, we had representation from each department of the hospital come out. We had the representatives from the OPP. We had the North Wellington Fire come in with a fire truck, and it was huge. It was really, it's very hard to put it into words. There was lots of smiles, even though they had masks on. You can tell they were beaming out from under the mask.
Yeah,
And
you
they
can't.
really appreciated that. Yeah, it was very heartwarming. It's very humbling to see the reactions. I got so many thank yous, which I really felt guilty. It wasn't my design. We had opportunity for the trailer, and it would have been a sin not to share it with the community. So that turned into another visit the following day at my hometown hospital in Palmerston, or locals call it Palmerston, Ontario,
Yeah.
which was great. Um, I We got a hold of the Minto Fire Department. They showed up with a big fire truck. They had some representatives. The paramedics, the ambulance come in again with the OPP representatives from the Palmerston Hospital. We had the Minto Clinic, which is on site. We had representatives from there, and right beside is a long-term nursing home,
Yeah.
Royal Terrace, and they also had representatives come over. So again, I'd love to share those pictures with you.
Yeah, please do. And I'll
Yeah,
post them on the site.
it
Do you
was
know what it
really
is? It's such an easy thing to do. And sometimes it takes a season like this for us to do it. But just the words thank you.
mhm. Oh, yes,
When we don't have any restrictions and life is flying by, it's so easy to forget to say it. So
right,
even to the people that deep down in our heart we do appreciate and we love and respect and all those things, but we don't say it.
right.
And so good on you for moving that around and just sending that message, because it's needed.
Yeah. Well, and something, 14 months in, we're all getting very tired. And
Yep.
the trailer is for essential workers. It's not often the picture on the trailer, which you'll see, that you have a truck driver in between a doctor and a nurse.
Yeah.
And of course, it was put out there for the Thank a Trucker program. I traveled up and down the 401 corridor in Ontario, stopping at truck stops, supporting that program, giving out meals, personal protective equipment to truck drivers. Um, I remember seeing it at the time, thinking, "What a fantastic program!"
Mhm.
I just wish I was out there driving to be able to slip in and say thank you to them for
Yeah.
putting it on. And who would know? Not quite a year later, that we had an opportunity to enter the draw in order to share it with our own community.
Yeah.
Um, it was yeah, it almost it might sound a little ridiculous, but kind of took on a little bit of a life of its own. And I see, this is perfect. I had these wonderful people that had the connections to be able to set this up. I'm thinking, I'm a retired truck driver. I'm used to being told where to be at what time. You guys set it up, I'll make sure it gets there. So yeah, it was really fantastic. Um, the locals that come out, of course, we had our photo shoot with everyone, but I was
Yep.
there early in the morning. I stayed till noon each day. There was nurses that had come off the night shift. There was 4 young girls in Palmerston that had come back after everyone was gone, and I noticed them sitting there, and they were trying to set up a phone on the front bumper of their van facing the trailer to take a picture. So I get out, I walked around, I said, I'm no photographer, but I'd love to take a picture here. I said, are you three ladies or sorry, four ladies in the in healthcare? And they said, yeah, we work here at the hospital. We just got off a night shift.
Yeah.
They had went out for breakfast, and they said they thought they would come back to see if they're lucky enough to catch the trailer. So I said,
Yeah.
what, that's fantastic. So we're able to take their picture. I had an essential grandmother that had strolled in. She said, "I'm not an essential worker, but I like to think I'm an essential grandmother." So yeah, just tried to take a selfie beside it. Yeah, there's a lot of people drove in and out. Totally shocked. One of the janitors at the hospital. She had been there for a number of years. Of course, I rolled in about 7 in the morning. About 7:30, she come up to the truck with a coffee and a breakfast sandwich from good old Timmy's.
Yeah.
Yeah, thought I might be hungry, and I'm thinking, wow, it just blew me away how what it meant to people. So yeah, for me it was a win-win. I was told that, hey, we're very busy. I don't know if we can spare a driver for the week. If you
Yeah.
want it to go, you're going to have to drive it. I'm thinking, well, I guess it's like falling off a bike, right? So I
Yeah.
didn't have too many problems, but yeah, I was, my head was swelled getting in the cab of the truck there, driving that thing down the road. It was pretty awesome. Some of the reactions I was getting. Yeah, it's just perfect timing. Um, with that first week being National Nurses Week, also National Police Week as well.
Mhm.
The following week, we had visited a local in Arthur long-term nursing home. Perfect timing again on the 19th, which was
Yeah.
PSW Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you couldn't have planned the timing any better. It really worked out fantastic.
Well, and you know what? Perfect timing. And I've only known you for 15 minutes on this interview, but I think the perfect person was behind the wheel of that truck in terms of being able
Well,
to relate. And I can see almost like you and Glenn working well together, because what I love about Glenn Caldwell and NAL, and I see it in you already, is, and you've mentioned the word probably 20 times already, is just this honoring of community.
mhm,
In
definitely.
bad times, in some circumstances, no matter how well intentioned, I'm not knocking them, but government isn't the solution. Community is.
Right. Yes. Yeah, there's so many good people out there, and sometimes, unfortunately, it takes some of these rough, tough, bad situations just to kind of make that shine. Even with our drivers, we had a slow period. We started crossing border. They come in, they said, "Boy, we feel like we've been treated like we have the plague."
Yeah.
Everything short of a blood test before we enter a customer's location. And of course, we followed, Transport Canada's guidelines as far as the sanitizing of the equipment and make sure they're protected. Um, but yeah, coming back and saying, I was stopped in a parking lot. The truck stop was too full. The rest areas were closed. And I got a knock on my door, and being very cautious, peeked out the side, and here
Yeah.
was a man and woman standing there, and they had went and got a takeout meal from one of the local restaurants. Thought he might be hungry. Yeah, it was. There was a number of stories, and yeah, it seemed to kind of just, you're thinking all the kind of bad stuff. There's a lot of good things out there, and it's very heartwarming.
And that's what, yeah, we need to report more and need to talk about more. And so thank you for doing that. Awesome program. Thanks. Ivan Armstrong Trucking, how many trucks in your fleet? What do you guys do?
Uh, we're sitting roughly at about 50 trucks.
Okay. And what do you haul? Where do you go?
Majority auto parts throughout Ontario, mostly cross border into the U.S. A lot of I-75 corridor stuff.
Okay.
2 and 3 day trips, so it's nothing. No coast to coast.
Nice. You're home.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
That's amazing. Well, thank you.